Hello my friends and welcome once again to another episode of Tony's Comfort Kitchen. Now last week I did a Tex-Mex style dish. I did a chipotle chicken. This week I'm staying in the similar area, although we're heading a little bit further south. We're going down to Mexico as I'm making a pork carnitas. Now if you don't know what pork carnitas is, it's basically it's a Mexican slow cooked pork dish. Quite often served with tacos. I think the original way to cook it was in lard. It was kind of submerged in lard and cooked for a long time. These days, most people tend to do it a slightly healthier way by cooking it in a slow cooker, which is what I'm going to do today. So we're going to get. It's not very typical what I'm doing today, but it's my version of it. Basically, I'm going to make up a rub it over a pork shoulder, and then cook it in a slow cooker for about 8 to 10 hours until that meat is absolutely falling apart. Then we're going to do the usual, pull it apart with 2 forks, etc. And then I'm going to serve it up in some nice tacos with some unusual accompaniments. So stay tuned. It takes a long time, so let's go. Okay, so for this dish, I'm using a pork shoulder. I think that's what most people tend to use. It's a nice big piece of pork, about 1.6 kilos I think it was in weight. So that's good enough for, I don't know, 4 people, 5 people, depends how hungry you are. Right, so to that I'm going to add, I don't know if you can see it, hang on. Oh well, make sure the camera can focus. I have a spice mix here that I've already made up. As I say, this isn't very traditional, but it's just the way I'm going to do it. So in here I have 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion granules, 1 tablespoon of oregano, half a tablespoon of cumin powder, half a tablespoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now don't worry, I'm going to put all the ingredients in the description below, so if you didn't get all that, then you can look it up directly below this video. Okay, with the pork laid open, I am going to sprinkle over the rub and rub it in to all the nooks and crannies. Probably haven't got enough to cover the whole thing, but you don't need so much on the fat side. I think you want it more on the meat side anyway, so don't be shy with it. On the sides. In the end. God, it smells fantastic. Okay, so into this slow cooker, I'm going to place my shoulder. Good fit. Okay, so the only other thing I'm going to put into this slow cooker is the juice of 4 freshly squeezed oranges. Nothing else. Right, so I will put a lid on this, and as I say, we'll cook it for about between 8 to 10 hours. So I will see you in 8 hours. Okay, this pork has been cooking for about 8 or just over 8 hours, I think 8.5 hours actually. I switched it off about 15 minutes ago, and what we need to do now is take it out of this slow cooker and put it into a tray and tear it apart. Now then, this might be harder to do than because I think it's going to all fall apart. Put it to one side. Hopefully the camera can pick all this out. Now then, I think it's a question of scooping. If it all falls apart, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be shredded up anyway. But, oh, it's falling apart. You can tell it's well cooked. Oh my god, look at that. Ooh. It's too big for the pan. No, it's not. Now then, all this juice that's left in the slow cooker I'm going to keep because we could use some of that later on. Okay, as the name suggests, we're going to pull this apart. Oh, Look at that. Absolutely just falling apart. Ah. And a bit of fat as well. Fat is where the flavour is. I think that's becoming my motto. Right, this isn't the end of the cooking process, because what I'm going to do now is take some of this pork and put it into a frying pan, and we're gonna cook it till it gets nice and crisp on the outside before we put it into our tacos. Right, with the pan heating up, I'll put in some of the pork. No oil because there's plenty of fat from the pork itself. Oh, it smells fantastic. Now then, we want to cook this just till it starts to crisp up. Then I might add a little bit of that orange juice from the slow cooker just before the end of cooking, just to give it a little kick of flavour, and we should be ready. That is starting to crisp up nicely. Now then, I might add a little bit of that orange sauce. A little bit more. A little bit more salt, and that, my friends, is the meat cooked. Obviously there's a lot more meat left over, but that'll be for my dinner tonight. Aha. So I will switch up the heat. I will put this to one side. Actually, this isn't the end of the cooking, because what I'm going to do now is prepare just a little accompaniment. Instead of using guacamole or avocados, I actually like to cook pineapple chunks. You'll see what I mean. Okay, I'm going to put some chunks of pineapple into a dry frying pan. I'm going to char them. These will give the tacos a fantastic sweet little note, which should go well with that orange sauce that we cooked the pork in. Lovely charred flavour. There's a lovely smell coming off these pieces of pineapple. And that's it, just a couple of minutes and these are done. Believe me, they taste delicious. Seems weird, but it isn't, I can assure you. Okay, so into a small taco there, I'm going to add this amazing pork. Not too much, no. It's never too much. On top of that, I'm going to put some chopped red onion, a little bit coriander, finally the pieces of pineapple. Okay, my friends, you'll have to excuse me. It is absolutely baking hot outside, and I'm literally melting in this little kitchen here, so have to excuse me. So I have my taco. I'm going to tuck in. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, that is fantastic. That pork is just really, really tasty. You can switch it on the morning, go to work, come back, and it's ready for you. Give it a go. Please let me know in the comments below how you get on. And before I melt, I shall say I will see you in the next video. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And take care and peace, my friends. Ooh.